Hi everyone. Let's take a look at the following grade 12 data management example. A bag contains 8 red, 5 green, 7 blue balls. A ball is removed and returned 3 times. Determine the following probabilities. Part A, the first is green and the second and third are red. So again, in this video, I do want to say I'm taking a slow and methodical approach. There are shortcuts. You can combine them into one step, which I'll save for a separate video. But again, I'm going to say R represents the color red. G stands for green. B stands for blue. Okay, so these are the notation I'll be using for all 4 parts. Now again, the fact that the ball is going to be removed and returned, this means with replacement. And you got to think about this because there are 2 different cases, by the way, with replacement, without replacement. Those are very different outcomes. This one is with replacement. So for part A, you're looking for the probability that the first one is green, the second one specifically must be red, the last one, again, must be red. Now, be mindful. If you think about how many we have in this case, again, there are 8 red, 5 green, 7 blue, which means if you add them up, the total number of balls is going to be 20. So think about it like this. Again, we're using FCP, fundamental counting principle. You want something and something and something, you're going to multiply. So out of the 5 possible green balls, out of a total of 20, that's the first part. For red, that's going to be 8 divided by 20 because it's with replacement. FYI, without replacement, that'll be 19. Then this will be 18. Anyways, let's go back to this example. Again, if you look at the last case, again, it's going to be 8 divided by 20. Now, if you grab your calculator and work it out, I believe it's going to be 0.04. So that's how you do part A. We are making progress. Let's keep going. In part B, we're looking for the first is blue, given that it is known not to be red. Now, this is really important because we thought there are 8 red, 5 green, and 7 blue. But in part B, that is not how you think about this. It says given that none of them is going to be red. So you eliminate this case in total, which means when you add it, the new total that we're thinking about is going to be 12. That is key, by the way. So again, the first one is going to be blue. But what about the second and third? Well, we don't really know. And since I'm taking a slow methodical approach, you want to think about it in terms of blue, blue, and blue, or it could be blue, blue, and green, or, and again, I can erase the other parts now that you know the total is going to be 12. The third case is the probability. Will be blue, green, and blue, and of course, blue, green, and green. That's it. The hard part is now over. If you think about this, it's going to be 7, not divided by 20, because that's not the right total. The new total is only out of 12, since none of them can be read. So it's going to be 7 divided by 12. Now, ideally, if you want to go faster, it's going to be 7 divided by 12 times 7 divided by 12 times 7 divided by 12. So make this a cube. Same idea. If the first one's going to be blue, the second one is going to be blue. The last one's going to be green. Again, green means it's going to be 5 divided by 12. Likewise, the first one is blue. The last one is also blue. I could have combined them, but let's give you the steps in between. The second one is going to be green. Again, that's the calculation right there. In the last case, the first one is blue and followed by green and green. So 5 divided by 12 square because they're multiplying it again. If you grab the calculator and work it out, I believe it is exactly 0.583 repeated. So that is how you go through part B. Let's keep going. You got this. Part C. The first one or the first 2 are red, or the third is blue. So this is probably the most detailed method I'm going to show you here. Again, I'm taking a slow and a methodical approach. Of course, you can combine using permutation combination, which again I'll save for a separate video if you want a shortcut. But if you think about part C, Let me go back. Yep, I did write down part B. Good. This is where we say, okay, the first one's going to be blue. Amazing, right? Oops, sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. The first two are red. So I'm saying R and R. But, we don't really know about the third case. So really think about this. The first two are red, but really deep dive, we don't know about the third one, which means ideally there are three cases. The first two are red, but the third one may also be red. It may be green. It may even be blue. That's the first part. Or means you're adding. And again, the third one is blue. So really expand your mind here. If you think about this, I believe there are 8 cases. So I'm going to write them out for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, let's begin with the end in mind. The third one is blue. So blue is this last option. I hope that makes sense so far. Now, the key is you want to think about the overlap, right? You don't want to add the same one twice. So when we say the last one is blue, we could say, well, the first two could be red and green. Maybe you're thinking green and red. But you could also think about green and green, blue and blue. What about red and blue? What about blue and red? What about green and blue? And of course, blue and green. So notice I'm not counting anything more than I need to. I'm counting exactly every single case. Now, again, in the first case, it's going to be 8 divided by, going back to the original denominator, 8 divided by 20 times itself. So it's going to be 8 divided by 20 cube. Plus, if you look at the next one, it's going to be 8 divided by 20 square because it's red and red. Green, it's going to be 5 divided by 20. Again, you see the logic here. The next one's going to be 8 divided by 20 square, red and red. Blue is going to be 7 divided by 20. I'm in case number 4 now. Again, starting with 8 divided by 20. Green, I believe, is 5 divided by 20. Blue is going to be red. So I'm done the first 4 cases. And if I keep going, you can see the pattern, right? It's going to be green, which is going to be 5 divided by 20. Red is 8. Blue is going to be 7. Next one's going to be here. Green, green, and blue. So I can square this one, recognizing that green is going to be 5 divided by 20. Blue is going to be 7 divided by 20. BBB means it's going to be 7 divided by 20 to the power 3. Plus, red is going to be 8 divided by 20. Blue, which is 7 divided by 20 square. Plus, 3 more cases. Now I'm running out of space, so I'm going to write it up here for you. I hope you're still connected. The remaining 3 cases are going to be blue, which is going to be 7 divided by 20, but I'm squaring it this time because it's blue at the front, at the back. Red is the one in the middle, which is going to be 8 divided by 20, plus green, which is 5 divided by 20. Blue is going to be 7 divided by 20 square, plus, here's the final case, blue is going to be 7 divided by 20, and I have 2 of these, so I'm going to square that one, and 5 divided by 20. Again, if you grab the calculator and you work it out, I believe the answer is 0.454, right? Let me know if you get a different number in the comment below. Okay, this is it. Part D. The first 2 are green or all 3 are red. So in this case, again, think about the first part. The first 2 are green. Okay, so this could be green, and think about that third case. So really, there are 4 cases in total. Well, the first 3 is going to be like this. The first 2 are green. The third one could be green. The third one could be red. The third one could be blue. Or all 3 are red. So R, R, and R. That's it. If you've watched up to this point, I would like you to pause the video. Try this by yourself. When you're ready and you're done, press play again. I'll be here. Welcome back. So green is going to be 5 divided by 20 to the power 3 because you're multiplying it 3 times or multiplying itself 3 times. Green is going to be 5 divided by 20, but we have two of these. 8 divided by 20 plus green is going to be 5 divided by 20, but you're going to square this. Blue is going to be 7 divided by 20. Red, of course, 8 divided by 20 cube. You work it out. I believe it's 0.1265. If you find this video meaningful, it's adding value to your data management or your math life, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I hope this makes sense.